Welcome to Lifting the Line, a construction contracting podcast.
Okay, we've got Marc here this morning from MKM Bricklaying. It's really great to have you. Andy's on my left here. And yeah, I'm Elly. So it's really great to have you, Marc. How are you going today?
Yeah, not too bad.
You drove
Thanks
all the
for
way
having
from
me.
Bendigo. Yeah. Is that where you're from?
Yeah.
And that's where your business is based?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How long you been in bricklaying?
Since I was 16. So, yeah, long time now.
Take us back to that 16-year-old. Describe yourself.
Young, dumb.
Okay. Where were you?
I was back in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Done my apprenticeship back there. Got a taste of the bricklaying through school. Went to TAFE from school. We done different trades from there 1 day a week. Enjoyed the bricklaying. Thought it was quite good. And yeah, just decided to do that. And yeah, just got into that and really enjoyed it. And
Did you have an example? Is that why you chose bricklaying back then when you were 16? Someone else in your family?
No, my dad was a plumber. So yeah, just as a trade.
Yeah.
One of my older brother was a welder, and one of my other brothers was a farmer. So it was just, yeah, we were always working out in a farm or something like that. So, yeah, it was, we were just workers, I suppose. We grew up working on farms and stuff.
And so in that journey from Northern Ireland to Australia, was it a direct line or did you pop somewhere else?
No, I actually, once I was at the TAFE in Northern Ireland, we done, it was called the Boomerang Project with the TAFE in Bendigo. So there was 21 students from North and South of Ireland that came out to Bendigo on the Boomerang Project. We stayed with host families in Bendigo. And yeah, we stayed for 2 months in Bendigo with the host families with in our each trades, like there was bricklayers, plumbers, carpenters, hairdressers, beauty therapists, all different trades. And then we went back to Ireland after that.
How old were you when you did that?
17, turned 18 when I was out here. My family threw an 18th birthday party for me, and that was good.
I can imagine how that went.
Yeah, that was a good night. Yeah, I got an awesome family and kept in touch with them, and yeah, just then couldn't settle when I went back home. Then myself and two mates came back out 2001.
How many years after that was when you came out?
2001, so two years.
Oh, so you were you were basically 20 years old or 21 years old?
Yeah, turned 21 then when I came out here. So another big party. So all the major milestone birthdays came back out.
And you came back to Bendigo when you did that?
Came back to Bendigo, yeah. Stayed with the host family for a little bit until I got on my feet.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get into the bricklaying straight away. It was when the GST came in.
Sort of 2000.
So the bricklaying, I think everybody was a bit quiet then, so it was quite hard to get a job. Ended up getting a job with one of the friends of the host families.
Mm-hmm.
He was chippy, so I'd done a bit of labouring work, chipping, building steel frames.
Yeah, right.
And that. And then we stayed in Bendigo for about 6 months. Did some travelling around Australia. Got some work and landed in Sydney with about $40 in my bank account.
Mm-hmm.
Got some work in Sydney for a brickie in Sydney, Lebanese fella, and he ripped us off and didn't pay us for the week's work.
Oh, no.
We went to try and find him in the casino, and that's where his wife told us he'd probably be with the paycheck that he got paid, and yeah, we couldn't find him, so ended up with still no money, but backpackers I was staying in, they were really nice people, and they gave me some work. I ripped up their back pavement and laid the pavers in their backyard, and they paid me for it.
It's super funny what happens when you're traveling and working, or as a bricklayer. I've done a bit of it, and honestly, it's one of the best experiences. I reckon every bricklayer, when they start their time, or once they've got their qualifications, get out there and travel around Australia and see what it's like working in different areas.
Yeah.
Like it's a real experience, and it's amazing the stories and the good times you have.
Yeah, yeah. And it's one of those things too, like my mum always drilled into me, you're willing to work, you'll do anything.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I was willing to do anything. So, didn't matter if it was bricklaying or what,
Yep.
Whatever job came up, you took it.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. No, that's great. So how long did you do that for?
I was in Sydney for it was probably only a month, so all I had left. So then I came back to Bendigo and then spent a little bit more time with the family in Bendigo and then flew out back home.
Mm-hmm.
Then, still couldn't settle. So started my own business back home with a couple of mates.
Mhm. Bricklaying?
Yeah, bricklaying. That didn't go too well. Probably spent more time in the pub than actually laying. But we had fun. And then decided to come back out to Australia then with another mate in September 2003.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And
Yep.
been here since now.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, absolutely. Because laying bricks.
Sorry, you actually just did the whole boomerang thing, like you did do it backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a whirlwind.
Yeah. Because bricklaying's a little bit different in Ireland compared to Australia, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, it's got your double skin blocks. Yeah. Mostly rendered blocks. They're solid.
internal, but still face brick on the outside.
Yeah, sometimes. Generally, you might have your plinth brick around the bottom face and then your rendered blocks on top still.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's one thing I really noticed with a lot of Australian brickies that have just done their time here, and especially in the last 20 years, they haven't really done much solid work. They haven't done much structural work.
Yeah, and they don't know how to set out probably as much. I noticed that big time over in Perth when probably the Victorians came over to Perth and stuff. Probably didn't know how to set out, do the set outs and stuff.
How long did you spend in Perth?
4.5 years.
4.5
over in
years.
Perth, yeah.
So you came back to Bendigo, and then how long was it when you went from Bendigo to Perth?
I was in Bendigo for 4.5 years. I worked for a brickie in Bendigo, sponsored me. Got sponsorship.
So you got a sponsored visa.
Yeah, got a sponsored visa. Got my permanent residency. And then I had a mate over in Perth that wanted... I wanted to go over there and get a bit more experience sort of on the commercial sort of side of things.
Yep.
So he'd started up his own business over in Perth. He had moved from Sydney and he said he was looking for workers over there. So I decided to make the move. I had sort of no ties in Bendigo at the time, and I decided to go over there and try that.
Yep.
Start working for him and then running jobs and that for him. Working on 4-story apartments and 7-story apartments and stuff, and running gangs of 20 men and that.
Yeah, that's another sort of education and experience level that you have to have, knowing that you got to, when you're working levels, overlaying plans. It's a completely different way. You really got to get your head right into the whole build, don't you?
Yeah. And chalking it all out and setting it all up for the blokes and and I was still laying bricks at the same time.
Yeah.
I remember the farm workers, they used to get into me going, "What are you still laying bricks for? You should be looking after the blokes." And I said, "Oh, I can't expect the blokes to be working if I'm not laying at the same time."
That's a real attitude. That's a real attitude thing in bricklaying, especially like guys that run the jobs, especially when there's more than probably 5 or 6 guys. They still think that they need to be on the tools as well to pay for their own wage to get paid, whether they're the boss or the foreman on site, where a lot of the time you don't even have time to lay bricks when it gets to that size. But most brickies that do that, they're actually really efficient. They're really efficient. They get things set out and they're straight into it. They're really conscious of being productive.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. That's something that's so when did you decide to set on back to Bendigo and start working for yourself?
I came back to Bendigo. I always kept in touch with the really good mates I'd made back in Bendigo. I came back to Bendigo for the Bendigo races was on. So I came back and caught up with a few mates and caught up with all the brickies and stuff that I used to work with and my old boss. And he just approached me and said, "Oh, are you ever thinking of coming back to Bendigo to live or anything?" And I said, "Oh, I probably would at some stage if I ever decided to settle down." And he said he was thinking of retiring maybe when he turned 60 and that. And he'd be happy for me to take over the business if that was the case.
Yep.
So I sort of thought about that and thought, there'd be a pretty good opportunity to sort of set up my own business and that. And I knew all the builders that he done work for. He was still doing all their work and had a good relationship with them because I was sort of running jobs for him before I left and got along well with all the builders and that.
Yep.
So I sort of give it a good thought over the next couple of years, and then I met Kirsty, my wife now, and
Perth or
I'd known her in Bendigo before I'd went to Perth, and she had done a bit of travelling overseas and stuff in the meantime, and we kept in touch and.
Kept in touch. She was just waiting for you to come back.
She was waiting for me, yeah. Sure, like that.
Can't blame her. That's really good. So when you came back to Bendigo and decided, I'm going to settle in Bendigo, did you buy the business off your ex-boss?
I bought all the equipment and stuff off him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then changed the business name. And
so you were able to buy all his equipment. So you had basically the tool set up to do the work, and then you basically gave a bit of an assurance that you could keep fulfilling the contracts the continuity of work.
He didn't have any contracts as such with any of the builders he was doing work for. He'd more just private builders and that he was doing work. But then I took on the full-time employees that he had working and took on all their sick leave and all that. So
it's for a builder that's built a relationship with a bricklaying business. That's actually really valuable for them. If someone's prepared to take over that person's business that's retiring and can keep that crew of workers that used to do that work for them, well then the builder has a big confidence that they're going to get the same quality of work because there's the same workers. They can know that you've worked for that person beforehand or they've worked with you in the past, so they know that they can work together with you.
Yeah.
So it's actually really valuable for a builder to keep using that person if there's been a really strong relationship built on sort of quality and trust and communication.
Yeah.
That's actually really positive for the builders. I reckon there's a lot of bricklayers out there that don't realise that when they're running their bricklaying business or they've built up a bricklaying business with relationships with builders over a long period of time, that actual what they've built is valuable to the person that might buy the business off them, whether it be purchasing all the equipment and the goodwill or taking it over. That's actually got some value to it. But I think a lot of guys think that, oh no, because I'm not going to be there, the business doesn't exist anymore. But actually, no, you can actually build a really good quality reputation that is valuable. The hard thing is finding someone to sell that to.
Yeah.
And generally that's a case of the best place to sell it to is the person that was your leading hand that wants to take over owning the business.
Yeah.
So they still can keep doing their job or take over and start making a little bit more on top, which is the profit.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of guys don't realise that building that relationship with all of those builders, that has value. And the portfolio of staff that you've built in that business, that has a lot of value too. I think a lot of people don't. So it's actually positive to hear that story that you're telling about that, because that's a really good example for bricklayers out there that are starting a bricklaying business or running a bricklaying business, that you are actually building more than just the transaction of you pay me to lay some bricks.
So
actually a lot more
the
to it.
team you've got now, what's the staff number that you've got that are consistently working with you?
I've got seven full-time employees at the moment.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're certainly not a small operation for a regional area in Victoria.
Mm.
That's not a small operation at all.
That gives you the capacity of a couple of jobs going at the same time, or?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
Yep. And did I say you had apprentices as well? That you've had
I've got 2 apprentices at the moment, a second year and a first year.
Yep. That's good too, isn't it?
Yep.
Good to have the levels of ability, even the young ones coming up, as long as you got some of the other stronger, long-serving tradies. Yeah. Yeah, very good.
Is it like a written policy or an unwritten policy, I suppose, within your business that you do want to always have apprentices, training apprentices?
Yeah, look, I've always liked having apprentices. It's been tough. There was a couple of years there where it was really tough to get decent apprentices.
Can you tell me like a little bit more about that? Just because I'm interested, because I've got training background. What made it tough?
Just getting anyone willing to work.
Yeah.
Willing to.
And by work, do you mean show up consistently?
Yeah.
Pull your weight, willing to learn?
Yeah.
So were you just getting people who weren't showing up regularly, or?
Yeah, wouldn't show up
or
would show up and think that they didn't have to actually put in, would treat it like they were still at school, basically.
Yeah.
You know, think they could just, probably hard to explain, but
like work ethic, or
work ethic, and
just stand around, no initiative.
no initiative, and you try and guide them the best you could, but it's sort of hard. Like at the end of the day, it's a very hard trade to be in, and you have to actually bloody work. You have to work hard on it. It's pushing a wheelbarrow or throwing bricks up on scaffold and stuff. You have to put in. Like, it's labor intensive.
Fitness. Yeah.
So you have to put an attempt in half a day's work,
And you're looking, and these first year apprenticeships, are they a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old?
One I've got at the moment, 17 or 18.
Yeah. And how long would you have someone before you said, I don't think this is right for you? Or you're not showing up the way I need someone to?
You generally know within the first couple of weeks.
Yeah. And so in that time where you say it was tough, you had a few starts with some people, did you? Or did you just go for a gap and you just couldn't find anyone?
Oh, yeah, probably had quite a few starts. Yeah.
That's time consuming, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. And then I got to the stage where I just, couldn't
Stop
even bother.
bothering.
There was quite a bit of time as well that I was getting phone calls for ones that wanted to start, and then they didn't even show.
Yeah,
and then that's when I got frustrated and went, I'm not even going to bother.
So there'd be a kid out there that would be wanting to have a go, but getting no's based on other people's, based on the experience of others. It's hard. So maybe those that are really willing, they've got to do a bit more than just make the phone call and show up. They've got to do more than that to show and prove, actually, I'm not like all the other,
and the frustrating thing about it was these were kids that were screened through Australia Brick and Block and things like that, and they had done all the right process and stuff like that. And then these kids were given my number to call me and then they wouldn't even show up. And, you feel bad for them because they have done all.
Yeah. So there's a lot of investment from a bunch of different people. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when when I was a kid, my old man was always saying to me, if you think bricklaying's what you want to do, go out there, walk around the sites, tell them you'll do a week for free. Show them that you want to be there, and they're more likely to put you on. But I think kids these days, they wouldn't even put the effort in to do a couple of days with no money to show themselves.
You are generalising, and I guess I'll fly the flag for young ones. But like, I agree. I think they're rarer to find because there's so many jobs now that are more sit at a desk, and they don't actually require any physical effort and strenuous effort into the job. So, yeah, those kids that are not as conditioned to do hard physical labour, but I think they're still there. But it's not easy. No, yeah, it's not easy on all fronts actually. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not an easy job. Like you've got your summer conditions, which is tough.
Yep.
Some people just can't handle the heat.
Yep.
And then you've got your winter conditions, which some people just can't handle the cold. You know,
it's Victoria.
Yeah.
And it is extreme, isn't it? Like it can be 41 or 42 degrees in summer. Well, where you are in Bendigo, when I was in Ballarat, not far away from there, a little bit different, but yeah, it can be like 40 plus degrees. And then in winter, -3.
Yeah.
Like just painful, and not get over 5 degrees all day.
Yeah.
And then throw in a little bit of sleet and rain or something with it as well. It just makes you wet and cold.
It was funny whenever I first come out, the Aussies all went, you get out, you can work out in the sun. You wanted to come to the lucky country. They used to all work in the shady area and put me out in the sun. Yeah. And I didn't mind the sun. So
I was going to say, does hazing exist still, like in the industry, because they do say young ones are at the highest risk category of being bullied or set up to fail when they do start in a career. So, yeah, that we've got to really watch out for those young ones as well. But getting shoved out in the sun, I mean, that's pretty light. That's pretty light when it comes to
I don't
workplace
know.
hazing. But
I've got a crew of blokes and they still, I like to think there's still that bit of banter.
Yeah, camaraderie.
Which I still like to think you can still have that in the building site. Otherwise, it's a pretty long, boring day if you can't have a bit of crack.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty mind-numbing job. Just picking a brick up and laying it, as one of my mates stirs me up. It's a chippy. You you have to have that bit of stirring each other up a bit. But there is a limit. You can't go too far. Sometimes. One person can cop it, I suppose.
Do you know, I wonder whether 2 apprentices is better than 1. Because I think about McDonald's, because I've got teenagers, working at McDonald's is a social experience as well, because everyone's the same age. They're all young. They make friends. And then my daughter, she got a job in a place where she was the only teenager. She was the youngest, and she just felt a lot of sort of like, not like everyone else, I suppose. Didn't have the same life experience sort of thing. Didn't have a friend.
Yeah.
So I wonder whether, I know not all apprentices are young, but having a couple is a good idea as opposed to one. But then
it probably is. Yeah.
And they can kind of keep each other accountable from a peer perspective and things like that. But anyway.
Bit of competition.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. But so how long have you been running your bricklaying business in Bendigo now?
11 and a half years.
11 and a half years.
Yeah.
From when you first started to say now, what are the massive changes that you've seen? Because a lot of changes have happened in the last 10 or 12 years.
It's definitely got tougher, I reckon. Since COVID, it's changed a lot. You have to chase work a lot harder. It just probably doesn't fall in your lap like it used to, I reckon.
Yeah. So when you say tougher, what's that mean? Like, because probably it hasn't got physically tougher. It's always been hard.
Yeah, it hasn't got physically tougher. Probably just the work side of things, trying to find work.
As a business owner.
As a business owner, it's gotten tougher. You have to go out there and chase the work and quote work a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I find you're not getting as many phone calls probably about work.
So people aren't coming to look for you as much as they used to. You're having to go and look for where the work is.
Yeah.
Be more actively chasing work and presenting your business to that builder or developer that you can fulfill their project needs.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And how has that affected the way that you run your business?
Well, as of last year, I took myself off the tools so I could concentrate on quoting and that more. As you know, I jumped on board then with you because things have been very up and down since COVID. I was really struggling, not knowing where to go really, and was very close to jacking it in myself.
I do remember the first conversation we had. You said, "Oh, I've been in the game probably 11 or 12 years," and I think you'd had a pretty lean year the year beforehand, and you were like,
probably a couple of years, before that.
Yeah. You said you were making a profit the years before that, but the profit margin was like it was almost like 1%, not even 1% that you'd made. I think it was well under 1% when you said that you'd done your tax return. You said, "I think I'm just going to get out of it." Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to you, "Look,"
And a lot of people must feel like that. You're saying it's tough, and you've had good years, and you can't be the only one. There'd be heaps of people. Do you find it's common across the board?
Yeah. It seems to be most brickies that I talk to would say the same.
Yeah. That's a challenge too, isn't it? Because you kind of sometimes be looking to the left or right to look for answers. And if you can't find them, it can feel like there's...
Well, you just feel like sometimes you're busting your ass every day and
defeated.
Not seeing much reward out of it, really.
What do you think was the big driver of over those 2 or 3 years where profits had really diminished? What were the big contributors to that? What in your business? With not asking you to go into like big financial details, but was there a couple of things that were contributors to that?
Oh, sure. Whether it was just I wasn't over my numbers well enough, like I was out in the tools most of the time. You'd do a couple of big jobs and then there'd be smaller jobs and that. Well, now that I know my numbers a lot more, I can say that it was definitely I wasn't over my numbers well enough. Like I'd be making profit some months and then other months I wasn't. You're hitting the targets and then the other months you're well below the targets. So that was cancelling out those good months.
And probably not even knowing what the target had to be.
Nah, not knowing what the target had to be.
Yeah. So I know you now, you work on you have a target that you have to hit. You've got a cash flow projection. If you're not doing enough work this month, that in 2 or 3 months, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Which I know that's what most bricklaying businesses don't ever know what's going to happen in 2 or 3 months because of what's happening now, because they just don't understand that you have to do this much for that business size just to break even.
And I didn't know any of that. I didn't know what my break-even point was.
Yep.
All I knew was that I had to go out and lay so many bricks a day. I knew what each brickie should be getting in a day. I knew how many bags of cement should be used within a day when so many brickies was there and all that sort of stuff. But I didn't know what my break-even point was. I didn't know any of that. But since I jumped on board and got the business coach, Gaz, for you and that, and been working with him, now I'm up to date with my numbers, cash flow planner, pipeline planner.
And did he help you figure that target out? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's interesting. You are an experienced business owner, and yet that was an area where you were struggling, and having someone else work with you to figure that out has been such a made such a big difference.
Yeah, it's made a huge difference. Yeah,
Yeah, because it's nothing you're taught to be a business owner and manage that cash flow, that break-even point. There's not one word about it at trade school.
No.
And generally, if you were working for a boss, and I know when I worked for my boss for many, many years, they didn't teach you anything about that. And I realised before we started Brickies Network that they didn't teach that because they didn't bloody know either.
Yeah,
that's what we really noticed. Because we never taught that, and you don't know what you don't know. But once you know that break-even point, it's almost freeing. It's almost like, well, it's scary to know it because it means you got a budget. But but once you know it, at least you know what you got to do.
Yeah. Oh, look, and it's taken me 12 months, till finally start to see us getting somewhere.
Yeah, exactly right. And we talk about this a lot in our coaching sessions, that it took you 5 or 6 years to get there. So you can't turn a ship around in 3 months. It takes a long time to turn it around. And you have to do it step by step, because if you just go, here's all the information, go and apply it, well, it's too overwhelming and you just go, oh, this is too hard, I'm out. It's sort of, you have to learn that little bit, learn that little bit, learn that little bit, and then see how it all folds together, so then you can effectively squeeze the lemon as you go along, and then work out, well, okay, I've got to increase my margin there, or I've got to reduce my overheads there. And that can change from month to month as well. Yeah. So, and there's kind of a reason why business management is a 4-year university degree, but a lot of tradies think that, oh, no, I don't really need to know that. Yeah. So that being the case, that's a big changer for you. But has there been things that have happened in the market that you felt have made it a lot harder as well?
Cost of materials.
Yeah, probably the cost of materials and just, I suppose the builders have really tightened up as well. I know a lot of the project builders have started dropping their rates and stuff again, which is really, I know that quite a few brickies that I know of have jumped out of the bricklaying industry because of that. So, it's just really changed the whole industry a fair bit.
That seems to be happening across Australia, because we do work for builders and developers, and we're working generally on a per 1,000 rate or a piece rate. It can be really easy for the builder to just go, oh, we need you to do the brickwork at that price. But if you're not 100% on top of knowing exactly what it is costing you to work it, let's just say you were working on $2 a brick and that was your break-even point, but the builder says, oh, we need you to do it for $1.70 a brick now because work's got tight and we need to sharpen up our pencil. Well, a lot of guys just go, okay, I'll work for $1.70 a brick and we'll just work a little bit harder and make it work, but we can only pick up and put down so many bricks in a day. We are restricted to our capacity of output in bricklaying businesses, and a lot of guys do get behind very quickly.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they find out 6 months later, oh, I actually owe the tax department $25,000 or $30,000, and they just go, oh, I can't make any money in this game. I'm getting out of it.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing. That's what's made it so hard too. Then we've been, I've had everybody on wages for quite a while. We made the transition probably, I'd say at least 8-9 years ago. Everybody's been basically on wages. So, you do have to take that into consideration. You can't drop people's wages just to match the brick rate. So you have to go with the times and keep putting the brick rate up to match the wages.
Yeah, and that is true too. Yeah, you can't just effectively. Oh, sorry, boys. Builder's telling us he's going to pay us 20% less, so I'm going to pay you 20% less. Well, you'd have a mutiny.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't have anybody working for you.
Yeah, exactly right. And so they'd be all running off to try and find a job with someone else. So that is very difficult. And yeah, they were seeing that a lot around Australia too. That's definitely happening. How do you see the future of bricklaying for you now, though, compared to where you were for the last 10 years to what you can see happening into the next 10 years?
Look, at the moment, we're very busy. We're quoting a fair bit at the moment, so I'm hoping it's still going to be busy in the lead up into Christmas. I'm still as passionate about bricklaying as I was when I was 16. I love it. I'm a bit stupid. But yeah, I would like to think I've at least another 10 years in me.
Yep.
And yeah, hopefully the squad that I've got at the moment, I can keep them with me.
Yep.
And maybe put on another one or two, possibly, depending on the work. But yeah, as long as we can keep the workflow going the way it's going at the moment, yeah, I'm hoping it keeps steady.
And how far afield are you actually heading out from Bendigo?
Look, we'll travel as far as we've got a job in Echuca at the moment.
So it's like 130 or 150 k's.
I'd have no problem going as far as Shep.
Yep.
And even we've done jobs in Swan Hill and stuff before. We've done jobs in Ballarat.
Yep.
So yeah, we've no
150 to 200 kilometre radius from Bendigo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And look, that all depends on you have to allow for meals and accommodation and stuff like that.
Of course.
I have priced a job in Melbourne before and I missed out on it just because of I was out the price of the meals and accommodation.
Yeah.
But I think my price was pretty compatible otherwise.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep.
I think our prices are pretty close to most, and yeah.
It's hard for building companies that are doing larger projects out into regional areas to find a business that's big enough, like yourself, that's got 10 or so guys working in the team that can come and do those big projects like schools and council buildings and things like that out in those regions that can actually fulfill the project needs. There might be small contractors within those areas, but they've only got one or two guys. They can't do those big projects. They just haven't got the capacity. So it's actually, I think it's a big advantage for a business in a regional area like yours. There'll be one or two in the regional area that have the large crew that can go out and do those bigger projects and service those builders. So they're really valuable, and I think they'll become more and more valuable into the future. So from what I see at Bricky's network, we're seeing that the bigger crews are going to be more valuable into the future because you have that capacity to finish jobs quickly.
Yeah.
That's really important. Productivity's dropped so much in the construction industry in the last 10 years that if they can choose a business that's going to complete a project 20 or 30% faster than another bricklaying company for them, well, that's worth a lot of money to them. And they'll probably pay those companies more money because you do get it done quicker. Because to carry a job, especially now interest rates are higher than they used to be, it's a really big advantage for a business to be able to complete projects quickly at a good quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's unreal. Hey, Marc, it's been great having you come in today. If someone wants to engage MKM Bricklaying, where can they find you?
You can find us in Bendigo, Central Victoria.
Pin drop on the map.
Yeah.
And on the World Wide Web.
Yeah, Facebook.
Facebook, Yellow Pages.
Yellow Pages.
Yeah.
So you're really good at quoting, really good at showing up and laying bricks, but your socials.
Yeah. We don't let anyone down. We're normally pretty good timekeeping.
Yep.
Mm.
So if your socials is a bit thin, it's because you're off busy working, right?
Yeah.
But your number's there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I was just thinking people in your hometown are going to get on this podcast maybe, and we've referred to it as Marc the whole time.
Yeah.
What are they going to think about that?
Some of them mightn't know who Marc is. Most people know me as Irish.
Very good. So they need to ask around. Then I don't ask for Marc Magee. They ask for Irish.
Yeah.
Yep. Very good. Well, it's been great having you on. Yeah. Thanks for coming. It's been awesome.
No worries. Thanks for having me.